Y'all know where we are. We're right here in Beaufort, in Lancaster County, which back when I was first elected to the Senate in the early 90s, this was the epicenter of yellow dog Democrats in Lancaster County. And I find it very ironic now that our party chairman lives in Beaufort, which used to be the epicenter of Democrats here in Lancaster County. And so it's great to be here with y'all today. And I just wanted to come up and bring you greetings. And it's been interesting being back in the Senate since I was elected in April. You know, when I was first elected to the Senate, I said something, after being there for a few years, I said, the Senate is an interesting place. We got people from 28 years old to 82 years old, and intellects from brain surgeon to brain dead. It hadn't changed a whole lot since that time. I'll tell you my favorite story from being in the Senate previously. Back when I was first elected to the Senate, you get a special license tag that goes on your car when you're a senator, and so I was 29 years old when I was first elected. My wife was the same age. And so one day my wife, she went to the grocery store, and the little bag boy, he rolled the groceries out to the car, and she noticed when he got to the car that he was staring at the license plate on the back of her car. He said, tell me about that license plate. I said, I've never seen a license plate like that. So she patiently explained to him, said, well, my husband is a state senator, and when you're a state senator, they give you a special tag. So he looked at her again with this kind of quizzical look on his face, and he said, are you married to Strom Thurmond? In the Senate, I don't think it's any secret. There's a lot of vain people in the Senate, and one of the best symbols of vanity in the Senate is your license plate. And the lower the number on your license plate, the more seniority you have. And so I was, we had for 16 years the first go round in my life. I started off at number 36, and I went all the way down to number 18 when I retired. And then I came back, a few years later. I started at number 46. So my daughter was looking at the license plate on the car one day. She doesn't know anything about politics. I don't think she even knows what I do. But so she said, she was looking at the new license plate, number 46, and she said, Daddy, what happened? You used to be number 18, now you're 46. But that's really immaterial. It's great to be back in the Senate, and my main objective in the Senate, as I said during the campaign, is we really vitally need to restructure our state government in South Carolina. And we have a very dysfunctional form of state government in that our governor has very little power. And I can give you a good analogy. There's a couple of important football games going on today. Clemson's playing right now. Carolina's going to play tonight. I'm a Carolina fan, so beat Navy, revenge for 1984. So the way our state government is set up would be akin to, say, Steve Spurrier is the head coach of the South Carolina Gamecocks, and if he had to go about his job the same way that our governor has to go about her job, he would not get to pick who his offensive coordinator is. He wouldn't get to pick who his defensive coordinator is, or any of his assistant coaches. Those would all be elected by, say, the members of the Gamecock Club. So they could elect somebody that he didn't even get along with as his offensive coordinator, or they could elect somebody who had a completely different philosophy than he did as his defensive coordinator, and that's the way our government is in South Carolina. We have 9 constitutional officers that pretty much all go their own way and do their own thing, and the governor has very little control over our whole apparatus of state government. I mean, everybody knows about the problems that we're having with DOT right now. In the 49 other states, DOT is a function of the governor's office, but here the governor has no control over DOT. So in order really to move our state forward in any kind of large fashion, it's going to take taking these offices like the superintendent of education and putting them back inside the governor's office like they are in all other states. That's one thing that I'm striving to do in Columbia. And the House, I think, had a great year this year. Deborah and her colleagues over there basically passed everything that the governor wanted to get done this year. Unfortunately, a lot of it is stalled in the Senate, and that's where we really need to the pressure point that we really need to push on next year is in the Senate to break that logjam and get a lot of this important legislation for government restructuring through the Senate, and that's going to be my main objective in going back next year. So I appreciate the opportunity to be back in office. It was good for me to be out of office for a few years. The longer you're there, the more you start to think like people that have been there for 20 or 30 years, and the less you think of like the people back home. So it's good to have a break and be out of office for a few years and to go back with a fresh perspective. So appreciate the opportunity, and whenever I can be of service to anybody, please let me know. Thank you.